As we become more civilized, you may notice we also give more attention to our hobbies. Vikings did not have hobbies. And if you were to ask one of them about his hobby, you probably would have been killed. Hobbies simply did not come up until people began to overcome their anxieties about living outdoors and having to either hide or run constantly. You know, we talked today about always being on the run. Well, early peoples actually were literally always on the run after the food, then fight it and eat it quickly, because you might have to run away if some creature took a food interest in you. Subject of hobbies never came up when you were running alongside your friends or hiding with them, even in the tree at night or the cave. The subject of conversation was just the weather. What is a hobby? Basically, it's that happy activity that you choose to do that is not about making a living. Theoretically, marriage might seem a good hobby, except that it requires a commitment, which a hobby does not. You can quit a hobby at any time. So marriage, which may at first seem so happy, turns out to be particularly unsatisfying hobby. Hobby is something that you like to do when you're not at work and not committed. So marriage doesn't fit. Also, hobby costs money. Now, there's many things that you may like to do when you're not working, but if they don't cost you money, that's not a hobby, no. Thinking is not a hobby. Not thinking, another favorite, is not a hobby either. Watching other people, which really is just a form of not thinking, is not a hobby. But photographing other people, even unhappy people at work, that might be a hobby. You see, it has to be something that you enjoy doing, even though you can't make a buck. What about a farm? That's interesting. Farming didn't used to be a hobby, because people used to be able to make a living on a farm. Nowadays, farming is still so hard, but now it's a hobby. So hobbies are evolving. Hunting. Hunting used to be work. It was frustrating, exhausting, and bloody work. But now it's a hobby. Yeah, hunting, farming, fishing, sailing, whale watching, and even running, all things that we used to dread but which kept us alive, they're all now delightful hobbies. Do you see where I'm going with this? I think I see where I'm going. Evolution happens when work turns into a hobby. That's evolution. What is your work? You tell me, and I'll tell you the future. You work in a packing plant? Well, your grandchildren will strip chickens at home for fun. You install floor coverings? Your descendants will roll and unroll fabulous new floor materials on the weekend while drinking. So, cheer up. All of our unpleasant drudgeries are going to eventually turn into delightful fun, and that's going to happen when we begin to make our living from new, unforeseen drudgeries.